Somebody say yeah. Say it again, say yeah. Somebody say yeah for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You look good out there, baby. I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look here. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. Look here. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, I wish I could come out there where you are, baby. A long time coming, but I know, look at here, a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. Let me say one more thing. I go to the movie and I go downtown. But all I can hear is somebody keep telling me, oh boy, don't hang around. It's been a long. If anybody know what I'm talking about, let me see you wave your hand. I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. But I've got to take my time and say this, look. Then I go to my brother. Yes, sir. And I tell him, I said, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me. He knocks me back down on my. Somebody say yeah! I can last long, dog. I know I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, good God Almighty, a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Look at here. One more time, look. Then I go to my brother. Somebody take your hand back and forth like this. Everybody. You sitting in the first balcony too. Help me, please. All over the auditorium tonight. All over the. Hallelujah. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. That's the times what I thought I couldn't last for long. No, I know, baby.
Hello, this is Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on the all-new #1 global radio station, WMAD. Before I do my live broadcasting, I always dine in at the all-new Main Street Seafood Restaurant located in downtown Columbia, Louisiana, owned and operated by Mitch Brett. Check them out. I did.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Tonight, we're going to be talking about bringing politics from the boardroom to the living room. The old corny line goes, you may not be interested in politics, but guess what? Politics is definitely interested in you. My old saying is that we are here tonight on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass to inform some and remind others. We know that the 2015 election will have many local and statewide candidates. Our goal here at the Smoking Glass Hour is to make sure you know exactly who it is that's running for office, what office they're running for, and what their candidacy is 100% about. Most of the time, you hear about candidates on the federal level, but not locally, and local elections affect the lives the most. Again, we ask that you tell a neighbor or you tell a friend about the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, because guess what? We are on the move in 2015. Let's not forget, once again, that all politics is local. And the prediction is that most people who vote or debate issues are focused on resolving their local issues, thereby confirming that the local elections are 100% important. Before we go any further, I want to just send a few shout outs to some of my good listeners out there. I want to say good afternoon to one of my good friends that I recently met back during, I believe it was the high school homecoming game, who is a retired doctor/professor from the University of North Carolina. And North Carolina, he is a real good friend of mine. And I want to send him a shout out. I want to say thanks for listening in. And not only that, we're going to try to go around the state. We got him down in, I believe, South Louisiana, over in Western Louisiana, out in Central Louisiana, North Louisiana, over in the eastern part of the state. We also have them out of Dallas, Texas, out of Houston, Texas, out of Baltimore, Maryland, out of the state of California. I believe we have one that's listed out of Florida, and so forth and so on. And we know that the annual Lounge Club Rodeo is going on right now. And that's fine. Because guess what? We've made it accessible for you, regardless as to where you go. If you have a smartphone, you can put your earphones on or you can put your earpiece on and you can act like you're not doing anything. And guess what? You can be tuned directly into the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. And guess what? Once again, we're on the move. So again, I also want to send a shout out to my lit 8th grader that's out there who is listening, who has developed a sense of politics. He asked me last night during the broadcast, how did I feel about the current governor, Bob Agenda, running for governor? And I said, no comment. And he replied back, LOL, and he gave me his reason as to why he felt like that may not be a good idea. But before we go any further, I want to just add a little sense of humor, because politics sometimes can be boring, and it can also be where it'll tune a person out. So here we go. A preacher dies, and when he gets to heaven, he sees a New York cab driver who has more crowns. He says to the angel, now I'm talking about the preacher, I don't get it. I devoted my whole life to my congregation. The angel says, we reward results. Did your congregation always pay attention when you gave a sermon. Now, you got to be scratching your head and wondering right now. But here we are. The preacher says, once in a while, someone fell asleep. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. The angel comes back and says, right. And when people rode in this guy's taxi, they not only stayed awake, but they usually prayed. Just a little sense of humor before we get off into the heart of the matter, which is trying to bring politics from the boardrooms to your living room. So if you're out there listening live, we're going to bring it right to you. Last week, we talked to you about the sheriff candidates. We talked to you about Clay Bennett's bio, who's running for sheriff. We talked to you about Mitch Bratton's bio, who is running for sheriff. We talked about Hank Ball's bio, who's running for sheriff. We talked about David Crane's bio, who is also running for sheriff. We talked about David May's bio, who is running for clerk of court. We talked about Lauren Rogers Young bio, who's running for clerk of court. We talked about Cherie Cox bio, who is also running for clerk of court. Tonight, we're going to talk about Mr. Courtney Dunn's bio, who is a candidate that's running for sheriff. And let me go back and make sure I give people a clear understanding of how this worked. It came to my attention that because I started out with Clay Bennett on the sheriff race, and I started out with David May on the clerk of court race, somehow that equated that I was supporting those two individual guys, which is 100% absolutely a lie. So before anybody get it twisted or get it mixed up, I chose the order in which I received these individual bios. So let's make sure everybody understand and have some logic with this. Don't go around and be what I would call stupid or show a little ignorance. But I just need to make sure that everybody understand in no way, shape, form, or fashion is the Smoking Glass Hour or the broadcaster Baron Glass is supporting or in opposition of either candidate. What I am doing is informing you, the public, with information that you may or may not know already. And some of this information, I'm almost sure that some don't know it because I didn't even know it, especially when we get to talking about the actual election itself. So we're going to feature Mr. Courtney Dunn tonight, and I believe he's probably out at the Lions Club Rodeo over there right now. I believe they started about 8 o'clock. I want to say I enjoyed the parade. I believe it started about 5:30. It appears that the parade is getting a little smaller, but nevertheless, we need to make sure that we support that. We also need to make sure that some diversity get in this program and the parade, rather, and I'm going to make sure that we try to get with some guys and some people and some ladies to try to participate so we can show that this parish of Caldwell is on the move in 2015 and we're not still living in the 1960s or the 1950s. Here we are. I, Courtney Dunn, would like to announce my candidacy for sheriff of Caldwell Parish. I grew up in this parish and have enjoyed raising my family here ever since. I've been married to Christy for 18 years, and we have 2 daughters, Gracie, who is 10, and Courtney May, who is 4. I am the son of Eugene and Susan Dunn. My grandparents are the late Mr. and Mrs. Louis Dunn and the late Mr. and Mrs. Floyd Slim Hodges. I've been a Christian for 19 years, and our family enjoys serving at Hebert Full Gospel Church. I am firmly rooted in our community and desire the opportunity to serve our parish as sheriff. I would like to share the years of experience that qualify me to be the sheriff of Caldwell Parish. I have served the public for over 16 years. Over 12 of these years were spent in service with the Monroe Fire Department. I've spent the last 3.5 years as a patrol deputy for the Caldwell Parish Sheriff's Department. While employed as a deputy, I have aggressively fought the drug problem that has devastated so many families in Caldwell Parish. If elected sheriff, I will continue to fight this epidemic as well as the theft problem we face and all other crimes that take place in our community. My education and certification are as follows. I'm a 1999 graduate of Monroe City Fire Academy, CPR certified and AED certified. State of Louisiana Peace Officer Standards and Training. Louisiana Delta Community College Basic Peace Officer Certification. North Delta Training Academy Post Basic Training. Louisiana Delta Community College Standardized Field Sobriety Testing. Louisiana Delta Community College Hazardous Material Level 1. Louisiana Delta Community College Oleresin Capson Spray State of Louisiana Chemical Testing for Intoxication. State of Louisiana Intoxilizer 5000 Taser Training Academy Taser Electronics Control Device Certification. State of Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals Registered Emergency Medical Technician since 2003. Louisiana State University Firefighter and Emergency Responder Certification and Training yearly from 1991 to 2011. United States Department of Homeland Security FEMA ISO-100 Incident Command. United States Department of Homeland Security FEMA ISO 200 Incident Command. Initial Action ISO 700 NIMS, which is National Incident Management System. ISO-800 National Response Plan. Mississippi State Fire Academy Aircraft Rescue Operation 2004 and 2007. Louisiana State University Hazardous Material Awareness 1999 to 2011. Louisiana State University Hazardous Material Operation 2000 to 2011. Involved yearly with Mass Casualty Drill, which is a mock drill involving the coordination and action of every aspect of emergency response teams to a mass casualty such as a plane crash, a train wreck, a tornado, or any other catastrophe. Attended Northeast Louisiana University from 1996 to 1997, a 1996 graduate of Caldwell Parish High School. Some of my awards and recognitions are as follows. In 2007, I was recognized by the East Baton Rouge Assistant District Attorney for a high level of professionalism due to a random act of kindness while on duty. In the year of 2000, I was honored and recognized by Monroe City for going above and beyond the call of duty for rescuing a mother and her son from a burning house on South First Street while off duty. In 1999, Monroe Fire Department Rookie's Choice Award, and this award is given to the individual whose overall performance and attitude has enlightened the class. Some of my community involvement include member of the Columbia Lions Club, president of Caldwell Riders Club, Youth Division, East Columbia Volunteer Firefighter, Caldwell Parish Sheriff's Office Special Response Team member. I look forward to the opportunity to serve you as Sheriff of Caldwell Parish and ask you to consider voting for me. If elected, I will work to ensure you a sheriff's office that is run in a professional and morally upstanding manner. I will employ hardworking, honest, and respectful deputies that you, the citizens of Caldwell Parish, can be proud of. My heart is to serve, and my mission is to protect the people of Caldwell Parish. We will work together to achieve these goals for you, the people of Caldwell Parish. I also anticipate sharing my vision for the youth of our community. I am committed to work hard for the well-being and future of this parish. I believe in an open door policy and want to always be accessible to each and every one of you. In the coming weeks and months, I plan to discuss further with you the issues our parish faces and my vision for the Caldwell Parish Sheriff's Office as I visit you door to door. I want you, the people of Caldwell Parish, to have a clear understanding of who I am and what I stand for. Please consider me as your choice for Caldwell Parish Sheriff. if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me at area code 318-649-0601 or area code 318-331-4601. Also, to stay updated, you can like us at Citizens to Elect Courtney Dunn for Caldwell Parish Sheriff on Facebook. May God bless each one of you for your prayers and your support. Sincerely, Mr. Courtney Dunn. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard once again from Mr. Clay Bennett, Mr. Mitch Bratton, Mr. Hank Balls, Mr. David Crane, and now Mr. Courtney Dunn. We have also heard from Mr. David May, Miss Lauren Rogers Young, Miss Cherie Cox. So I want to say thanks to all of those individuals who took the time to provide me their bio so you, the listener, could have some information about them when you see them out in the neighborhoods, when you see them knocking on doors, when you see them out in the grocery stores or whatever it is that they may be doing. You can say, aha, I know a little bit about you. So when they come to your home, you can start the conversation by asking them about some of the things. And if you want to make sure that you stay tuned, you can always go back and listen to any archive show that we broadcast live at the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass by going to www.thesmokingglasshour.com, and you can look right on the player and you can click it and it'll take you to any link that's out there that we broadcast since last Thursday. Now, let's look at some of the issues going on in Caldwell Parish when it comes to the voting. We know on October the 24th, there will be a millage renewal by the Caldwell Parish Recreation Board. That vote for recreation will look like a tax continuation of what it's going to be called. It's not a new one. It is a renewal. And you can get information from Miss Crystal Grafton. And the proposition will state, for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, and improving, operating and or maintaining public recreational facilities in and for Caldwell Parish. That will include T-ball, the Dixie Youth, and Brownville Ballpark. But again, to make sure that you get a clear understanding, I'm going to be bringing, hopefully, Miss Crystal Grafton on sometimes after qualifying and allow her to talk specifically about the millage renewal and or any individual from the police jury's office or any police juror who would have enough courage and kindness to come on and talk live about this so the public can get a clear understanding. Remember, we're bringing the politics from the boardroom to the living room. Okay, again, we're talking about the millage renewal for Caldwell Parish Recreational Board. Now, let's look at some of those who actually are elected here and around the parish so you can make sure that you know who it is. We have for Caldwell Parish School Board members. We have for Ward 1, we have Mr. David May. We have for Ward 2, Miss Jody Kennan. We have for Ward 3, Dr. John Robertson. We have for Ward 4, Baron Glass. We have for Ward 5, C.R. Martin. We have for Ward 6, Jack McKithen. And we have for Ward 7, Mr. Gary Castles. And if you want to know when they meet, the board meetings are held the first Tuesday in each month. Again, we're bringing politics from the boardroom to your living room. So if you don't want to go to the meetings, if you don't want to go and read the paper, at some point in time, you might be able to sit right in your sofa, right in your bed, drinking your cup of coffee, sipping on your tea, sipping on your Miller Lite or whatever the case may be, and listen live right here at the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD. Now, let's look at the Columbia Town Council. Let's look at their members. Now, they meet the second Tuesday of every month. The mayor for the town of Columbia is Mr. Charlie Salmons. There are 5 council members. Mr. Melvin Robinson, Mr. Richard Meredith, Mr. Ken Brockner, Miss Bonnie Crockett, Mr. Bruce Frazier, and the town marshal is the candidate for sheriff, Mr. Clay Bennett. When we look at the Grayson Town Council, let's look down there, a little south of here. They meet the second Tuesday of the month at 5 o'clock p.m. The mayor is Miss Carmen Head. They have 3 council members, Mr. Raymond Cruz, Miss Sandra Evans, and Mr. Jimmy Whittington. The chief of police is candidate for sheriff, Mr. Mitch Bratton. Now, some may be asking, why am I going through this information? Well, our goal is to provide you, the listener, with information that you can utilize and make a better decision about where you live and the things that may need to take place in your area. Some people, I find, they don't know who their local school board member is. They may have heard the names. They don't know who their local police juror is. They don't know when the meeting is. So all we're doing is providing you information. Again, aren't you tired of all the national news and all the babbling about the president, the Senate, the Congress, so forth and so on? We have absolutely a slim chance to ever touch any president. We have absolutely any slim chance of making a positive impact other than getting out and exercising our right to vote. So when we decide to complain, we can complain. And that's one of the things that we really need to look forward to, is making our complaint known. So when people start to not perform their job, we can do the things that's necessary. Let's look at the Caldwell Parish Police jurors. And I might add that these jurors are up for election this October the 24th. For District 1, we have Mr. Robert Washam. For District 2, we have Mr. Lanny Dark. For District 3, we have Miss Bobby Harrison. For District 4, we have Eddie Hearns. For District 5, Manuel Escalon. For District 6, we have Mr. Glenn Barnhill. And of course, for District 7, Charles Fluke Braddock. Now, their meeting dates are the first Monday of each month at 9 o'clock a.m. But here's a kicker. The first Thursday after the 15th of each month at 7 o'clock p.m. Now, again, I'm almost certain there are some listeners who are listening live, or there will be some listeners back listening to the archives who did not know that the first Thursday after the 15th of each month at 7 o'clock p.m. Why? And I'll be honest, I knew that they met twice a month. I thought it was the last Thursday of the month. So I'm corrected. So I know if I'm able to willing to admit that I had a sense of logic that was wrong, maybe somebody else could actually do the same thing, because we want to make sure that, this stuff goes on. And then I want to send another shout out to Longview, Texas. They just sent me a message in the chat room. And of course, if you're out there on the player, you can send me a message live while I'm broadcasting, and I'll try to get to that message and respond at some point. If it's a question of some kind, I will read it over there. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a short pause and come right back.
Hello, this is Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on the all-new #1 global radio station, WMAD. Before I do my live broadcasting, I always dine in at the all-new Main Street Seafood Restaurant located in downtown Columbia, Louisiana, owned and operated by Mitch Bratton. Check them out. I did.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Now, let's look at some specifics. The qualifying period for all of these offices, whether it's the governor for the state of Louisiana, the lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, the attorney general, the treasurer, the commissioner of agriculture, the commissioner of insurance, the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, which is Bessie, a state senator, state representative, the sheriff, the clerk of court, the assessor, the coroners, and the police jurors. The qualifying dates are September the 8th through September the 10th. The primary election date is October the 24th of 2015. The general election is November the 21st of 2015, or to most people, it is called the runoff. But again, qualifying period is from September the 8th through September the 10th for those who may be writing this information down. The primary is October the 24th of 2015, and the general election and or the runoff is November 21st of 2015. Now, these terms, they will start for the governor, the lieutenant governor, secretary of state, attorney general, the treasurer, the commissioner of agriculture, commissioner of insurance, board of elementary secondary education, state senator, and the state representative, along with the police juror, the assessor's office. They will start immediately on January the 11th of 2016. Now, the coroner's office won't start until the third month, the 28th of 2016. And the sheriff's office will start on July the 1st of 2016. So if and when you elect the sheriff of this year, they won't go into office on January 1 or January, February, March, April, May. They will go in when the fiscal year starts on July 1. So again, we are trying to provide information to the listener. We're not trying to give a civics lesson of any kind. However, what we're doing, we're trying to make sure, once again, you, the listener, can have information that will or will not help you. Okay, now let's look at the qualifying. Again, it begins for candidates in the primary election. State candidates qualify with the Secretary of State's office. Municipal and local candidates, they qualify with the clerk of court of the parish in which the candidate is registered to vote. And again, that is through September the 8th through September the 10th. Again, municipal and local candidates qualify at the clerk of court office, whereas the state candidates qualify with the Secretary of State's office. Okay, let's look at some of the other dates. The primary date, again, is September the 23rd, which that day is the last day for voter registration. The last day for voter registration. So if you're out there and you're going to be having a voter registration drive, the last day for the primary election is on September the 23rd, which is a Wednesday. The last day for qualifying on the general election and or the runoff is October the 21st. Again, September 23rd for the primary. The general election, the last day for voter registration is October the 21st. So we know that people are out there all the time having voter registration drive, getting their candidates to vote, so forth and so on. Let's look at early voting. Again, for the primary, it's October the 10th through the 17th. For the general and or the runoff, it is November the 7th. And early voting in person begins 14 days prior to any election in the registered voters office and designated branch offices until 6 o'clock p.m. each day. Now, I believe here in Caldwell, they are open from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. And I was also given information that a 16-year-old can now register to vote. A 17-year-old can now register to vote, but they will not be eligible to vote until they become 18. Now, I believe the 16-year-old can register at, I believe, the DMV, and I may have it backwards. I believe it's the DMV. The 17-year-old can register at the DMV. They can register at the, I believe, the welfare office, places of that nature. But again, they cannot register. They cannot become eligible to vote until they become of age of 18. So again, they don't have to wait until they're 18 now. They can register at 16 and 17, and when they turn 18, they will automatically be eligible to go out there and vote. So again, we want to make sure that all of this information is given, that everybody out there can understand exactly what's going on, and it would be of benefit. Now, let's look at some of the information that is going on down in the legislative session. For Louisiana, I'm assuming that you know what just took place today. But if you don't know what just took place today or what has taken place today, I am going to inform you. Both chambers of the Louisiana legislature have now approved, guess what? Medical marijuana legislation that seeks to give certain patients who need its access to the drug. The House of Representatives okayed this measure today by a vote of 70 to 29. If the bill becomes law, Louisiana will become the 24th state, plus Washington, D.C., where patients have legal access to medical marijuana. The state will also become the first in the Southeast to have a legal medical marijuana dispensary system. Now, I'm not sure you heard it. The Louisiana legislature has now approved medical marijuana by a vote of 70 to 29 today. If the bill becomes law, Louisiana will become the 24th state, plus Washington, D.C., where patients have legal access to medical marijuana. The state will also become the first in the Southeast to have legal medical marijuana in areas where they can go throughout the state. Now, what I'm going to do right now, I know that some may have a hard time processing this because I actually do. Just like Lortab pills, pain pills, and all of that other stuff is now being sold for people who have prescription drugs. Guess what's going to happen? These young kids that's running around and these older people who are getting their prescription, not only the prescription, but that's out there on the black market, you would now be able to sell. It'll be illegal, but guess what? People shall take the chance to do this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a little Motown for you. Midnight Train to Georgia, Gladys Knights and the Pip. I'm going to let this settle in your mind and your brain, and then I'll be right back in about 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Stay tuned.
Hello.
For the man, too much for the man, he couldn't make it. So he's leaving the life he's come to know. Ooh. He said he's going back to find, what's left of his world, the world he left behind not so long ago. He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah, said he's going back to a simpler place and time. Oh yes, he is. Train to Georgia. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine. World is his and hers alone. He kept dreaming, ooh, that someday he'd be a star, superstar, but he didn't get far. But he sure found out the hard way. The dreams don't always come true. Oh no. So he burned all his hopes and even sold than live without him in mine. Oh, he's leaving on the midnight train to Georgia.
Leaving on the midnight train.
Yeah, ooh, y'all. Said he's going back to find.
Going back to
Oh, some him.
I know you will.
Oh, that midnight train, Georgia.
Midnight train.
I'd better live in his world than live without him in mine. Gonna board the midnight train ride for love. Gonna board, gotta board the midnight train and go for love. Gonna board the midnight train and go my world, his world, our world. None of his alone. My world, his world, our world. None of his alone. I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. Hey, I got to go. I got to go. My world, his world, my man, his girl. I got to go. I got to go. Oh, I got to go. My world, his
At Horace Auto, we don't just repair parts, we restore pride. From oil change, brake repair, or full service engine repair, give Horace Auto a chance to work on all of your automotive repairs. Horace Auto is owned and operated by Chris Howard, located in downtown Columbia, just off 165 at 235 Meredith Street, Columbia, Louisiana.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Just want to let you know we're talking tonight about bringing politics from the boardroom to the living room. And we've talked to you about the general election, the primary, the qualifying dates, candidates that's running for office, gave you a bio of Mr. Courtney Dunn tonight, told you about different elected officials throughout the parish. Now, if you're out there listening, you got any other parish that's out there throughout the state, we're willing to deal with that because we're talking state and local politics. The Monday night broadcast, we focus on entertainers, professionals, current events, national events, racism, sexism, and all that other kind of stuff, the tough topics. Now, we're going to continue talking about the Louisiana legislature's approval of the medical marijuana. It was said by Governor Bobby Jindal that he would sign the bill. And the bill was sponsored by Senator Fred Mills, a Republican from New Iberia, if it gets to his desk. The last step before it reaches the governor's office is a vote from the Senate approving amendments tacked on the House side. And that body endorsed an earlier version of the bill on May the 4th by a vote of 22 to 13. So if you are in opposition of this bill, you may call Senator Neil Reiser. If you are in support of this bill, you may also contact Senator Neil Reiser. Now, while the legislature legalized marijuana for medical purposes, there's no mechanism in current law that allows for legal dispensing of the drug. Now, we know how all this works. The Department of Health and Hospitals was ordered to write rules for dispensing it nearly a quarter of a century ago. But the rules never adequately implemented the intent of the legislation. Here we are. Here's where the problem is at. Remember, the rules never adequately implemented the intent of the legislation. Now, doctors can legally prescribe it. Patients can legally use it, but patients can't access it in the state legally. Now, I don't know if you heard what I just said. Doctors can legally prescribe it. Patients can legally use it, but patients can't access it in the state legally. In short, the system lacks a middleman. The legislation, which is Senate Bill 143, Senate Bill 143, and I believe you can go out and look at, I believe it's www.legis.la.gov. I believe that's the website. And it gives authority to 3 state boards to set rules and regulations that are tightly constrained for the system. Now, when we look at State Representative Helena Moreno, a Democrat from New Orleans who presented the bill for Mr. Mills on the House floor, it fielded questions for nearly an hour. And I'm almost certain that somebody that's listening or go back in the archive listen will have questions as well. Again, you can contact your senator here for the 32nd district, which is Mr. Neil Reiser. Mills sat behind her talking with individual lawmakers who walked up during the debate to share their concerns. And guess what? There are concerns. Now, I don't think anybody is against something for medical patients. I think the problem is how do you control this from getting out of hand? Because we're talking dare. Just say no to drugs, but we're coming back and prescribing drugs where kids have access to these prescription drugs just like they have access to drugs out there on the streets right now. Now, Mr. Moreno said he wanted to remind people, she wanted to remind people about the bill that it's about helping people who are literally begging us to help them finally stop their suffering. Now, if you go out there on different sites, you can fact check the pros and cons of marijuana. Now, here's how this system would work. Those with doctor recommendations could obtain the drug in a non-smokable form, like oils or pills. Again, how the system would work is those with doctor recommendation could obtain the drug in a non-smokable form, like oils or pills, at one of the dispensaries scattered across the state. Now, the bill authorizes one growing or cultivating site. I don't know how that would work. The cultivating site was originally supposed to have been selected through a public bid process. Here we are, public bid process. But an amendment added on the House floor Thursday gives first priority to the LSU and Southern University Ag Centers to host the site if the centers want the job. What about all these other universities that are in the state? You may have some conflict there with alumni screaming. The bill restricts the use of medical marijuana to patients suffering from glaucoma, quadriplegia, and for those undergoing chemotherapy treatment for cancer. The legislation, it actually requests that the Louisiana Board of Medical Examiners submit recommendations on other qualifying conditions or diseases like epilepsy or AIDS that should be added to the list. The deadline for those recommendations is 60 days before the next legislative session. Now you're going to get off into areas where people with different sicknesses are going to be, they're going to feel left out. And then you're going to have all of these protests, contests, and all this other stuff. So before they got to this point, they should have had all of this stuff worked out, in my honest opinion. The Louisiana Board of Medical Examiners, they will set the rules about prescription. The Louisiana Board of Pharmacists will set the rules about the place where they will be dispensers. And the Louisiana Department of Agriculture will set rules for a single growth site. Now, we have 3 different departments. The medical examiners, the Board of Pharmacists, and the Louisiana Department of Agriculture. All of these agencies are supposed to coexist. Now, let's look at this. Let's assume that each one of these agencies have majority Democrats on one, majority Republicans on the other, and majority independents on the other. You see what I'm saying? You see how confusing and partisan this stuff can get? I'm not sure they're at a level to where they can start putting this stuff out. Now, Patrick Connick, a Republican from Marrero, he tacked on the amendment giving the LSU and Southern Ag Centers the cultivation contract after a number of lawmakers expressed uneasiness over the idea of a private entity landing a huge state contract to grow marijuana. Look at what we're looking at. Possibly a very profitable venture. The apparent potential for shady dealing prompted Republican Kirk Talbot, a Republican River Ridge, to bring up the Riverboat Casino license scandal of the 1990s. That was a nightmare, and I'm glad that this Republican brought this up. Connick posed, if someone's going to make a profit from this, why not the state? Is that stinking thinking, or is that logical thinking? Should the ag centers refuse the cultivation site contract? An amendment added by Marino on the House floor adds specific processes for the selection of the site and spells out provision that must be included in the selected sites of the contract. The 10 places or the 10 areas where they will be dispensing the sites are located in different parts of the state that would be established at existing pharmacies where medical marijuana would be distributed, alongside other type of drugs to patients with a recommendation from their doctor. The bill lets the state track sales in a similar manner of some other drugs in order to detect doctor shipping. A sunset clause will force the legislature in 5 years to readopt the law. The 5-year expiration is intended to give lawmakers the opportunity to explore the legal impact of and the access of medical marijuana and possibly reevaluate the system. By the time the rules are formulated, a cultivation site selected, the product grown and re-aided for distribution, Mills estimated it would be about 2 years or 24 months. He said before the patient can actually access medical marijuana. One other announcement. We're going to look, say congratulations to Willie Larkin, who I believe the Louisiana System Board just selected him to be the Grambling State University president. And as a motivational speaker, Willie Larkin took up the nickname Dynamite after someone told him he was pure dynamite after speaking engagement. Now we say that the president can actually be called President Dynamite. So we want to say congratulations to him. Larkin and I believe it was Rockin, who were 2 of 5 candidates interviewed this week on Grambling campus. UL Systems President Sandra Woodley said the system has searched for GSU's next president for almost a year. She believes they found the right person for the job. So congratulations to the Grambling State University Tigers and the famous Grambling State Marching Band and my good friend down in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, Mr. No Tie Down Router, Robert Bruno. I want to say congratulations to Mr. Willie Larkin for becoming Grambling State University next president. We're going to pause and take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, this is Pastor A.F. Riggins, a Real Life Church, Houston, Texas. We welcome you to hear our broadcast every Tuesday night right here on Blog Talk USA and WMAD Radio, www.smokingglasshour.com. Real people, real life, real answers, a Bible study. Every morning on WMAD Radio and SpokenGlassHour.com, 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, you hear Word of God, a sermon. And on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., same place, you can hear a Word of God. If you're in the Houston area, come and visit us at the Real Life Church, 2703 Highway 6 South, Suite 150 in Houston, Texas. 10:45 a.m. is our worship. Also, you can tune in to Blog Talk USA on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. for Wrap It Up Live. Community issues with real people, real life, and real answers. This is Pastor A.F. Riggins. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Looking forward to hearing you on our broadcast. Remember, prayer still works. That's good news. That's the power in the name of Jesus to break every chain. Amen.
Racism. The belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. Baron Glass, host of the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, each and every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the #1 global 24-hour radio station, WMAD. Join my co-host April Ayala and I as we make an attempt to bring this evil system and a way of life for some to the forefront and have an open discussion with civility and honesty, with hopes of minimizing this problem that has affected so many lives. We ask that you join us. We all can make a change, and we surely can make a difference.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Right on. Right on. Right on. Everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Picket line and picket sign. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Right on, right on. Right on.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour global radio. Tonight we've been talking about bringing politics from the boardroom to the living room. We have tried to provide the listener with a variety of information, provide them a lot of information based on a variety of different sources, that's out there. We want to make sure that you know who your local representatives are. We want to make sure that you know when the election is. We want to make sure you know when voter registration ends. We want to make sure that you know everything about a candidate. We want to make sure that you know that we will make an attempt to reach out to each individual candidate after qualifying and bring them on and allow them an hour or two to talk live with us on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass about their candidacy so you can get a better idea of how they will perform. Now, we're not looking for any aha moments. We're not looking to catch somebody's hand in a cookie jar. Only thing we want to do is have a casual conversation with each individual candidate, and we'd like to thank them in advance for considering to come on the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. Now, we have interviewed United States congressmen, United States senators from, I believe, Tennessee, Texas out there, Dr. Shirley McKellar, who's running against Louis Gohmert. We've interviewed Senator David Vitter. We've interviewed local and state individuals running for judge, running for DA, running for all other types of sources that are out there. So again, I'm just trying to let you know that this is not no fly-by-night type of stuff that we're talking about. We're talking about actually engaging people in the political process. Even if we can spark somebody who has never run for office to actually get out there and run for office. So we want to make sure that we can do all that we can from behind the scenes. And again, I said it from the outset of the interview that in no way are we in support of a candidate broadcasting or in opposition of any candidate. And please do not get the wrong understanding because we chose a certain order to go in, that order dictates that we are actually supporting somebody. If there's anybody out there who wants to send me a message of any kind, they may do so. They can email us at www.thesmokingglasshour@gmail.com. Again, you can go in the live chat room right now. I want to send a shout out to those down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I believe Miss Gwen Hilliard, who works for the State Red Cross. Mr. Wendell Thomas, who is out there driving trucks, actually was able to meet him in person. He was coming back south and I was heading north, and we were talking to each other, and lo and behold, I spotted his 18-wheeler, he spotted my vehicle, and it was just that simple. Facebook has a way of allowing people to become acquainted with each other. You can reach us at Facebook. You can reach us on Tumblr. You can reach us on Twitter. You can reach us on LinkedIn. You can reach us on Instagram. You can reach us on WordPress, Google+, and all of those other places that are out there. Again, there are listeners out all over the state that's listening now. We're broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass. It's about 8:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. We know that the annual Lions Club Rodeo is going on. We also want to tell you that they are selling what they call, I'm not sure if they're self-titled or whatever the case may be, however the case may be, they're selling their world-famous hot dogs. And the reason why I say that is because I don't know if anybody has ever eaten my mother's cooking or my sister's cooking. And I put their cooking up against anybody's. But again, we want to support the local Lions Club. They do a lot of good things. I've been aware of the local Lions Club Rodeo and Parade for all of my life. So we want to make sure that we get out and support those events. Again, if there's any other event that's going on out there within the parish or in other parishes throughout the state, please let me know. If there's somebody who needs some recognition and they are not getting it, special recognition by award certification, so forth and so on, make sure that you contact the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, and we will be happy to put that information out there. Very happy. Again, we have candidates running for sheriff. We have candidates that are running for clerk of court. We have those that are running for sheriff, Mr. Clay Bennett, Mr. Mitch Bratton, Mr. David Crane, Mr. Courtney Dunn, and Mr. Hank Balls. Running for clerk of court, we have Miss Lauren Rogers Young. I don't know why I keep getting that filed up. We have Mr. David May. We have Miss Dina Domain. We have Miss Cherie Cox, and we have Mr. Greg Richardson. Again, if you have heard your candidate's information and you're happy, that's fine. If you hadn't heard your candidate's information, you may need to give it to your candidate and tell them, please get your information over to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass so we can hear about your candidacy. We're looking at about 9:01 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, the thing is this. I'm asking people to get over the feeling like local elections don't really matter and let's start paying attention. I'd like to add that your vote could be the vote that makes a difference. And if you look at the acronym of WMAD, it stands specifically for We Make a Difference. Let's keep Caldwell Parish alive in 2015. Your vote does matter. The truth is, local elections are where the power of one vote has its greatest impact. So we want to make sure once again that everybody that's out there under the sound of this old weak voice, that you get involved and you become active and you stay active in the political process. If you're in your 60s and your 70s and your 80s, you know what the struggle was like back years ago. Some do and some don't. Some have forgotten, some seem to don't remember. But we are not just here to inform some and remind others. We want to make sure that positive information is out there. There are going to be times when there's going to be agreements. There are going to be times when there are disagreements. Again, you're listening to the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. I also want to make sure that you guys that are out there running for office, have businesses or whatever the case may be, we do offer excellent advertising package that go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can look over on the Smoking Glass Hour, www.thesmokingglasshour.com, and you can look at our itinerary for the remainder of the day. At 7 o'clock a.m., we have Real People, Real Life, in Real Answer with Pastor A.F. Riggins, Senior Pastor, Founder, Real Life Church out of Houston, Texas. At 8 o'clock a.m., we mix it up a little. And when I say mix it up, I'm talking about a variety of music. No rap, none of that. For those who are out there from South Louisiana and our trail riders, at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, we have live Louisiana Zydeco 1 full hour. At 12 o'clock noon, we mix it up with the day's news. At 1 o'clock, we go back to mixing it up again. At 3 o'clock, we play the Smoking Glass Hour archive shows. At 5 o'clock, 5:15 p.m., we have romantic dinner jazz. So that's for you driving home. At 7:30 p.m. on Monday nights, that's the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass, and that can also be heard right here on the Smoking Glass Hour. At 9:30 p.m., Romance After Dark. So if you just want to have a quiet storm at home, you have the opportunity and the option to do that. That's Monday through Friday. On Saturdays, we have a variety of music from all genres. At 7:30 p.m., we used to have live edition, and we may go back to having live editions. On Sundays, we have all-day Christian music. If you have a minister that's out there that you'd like to hear live, if you send us an MP3, or we may be able to do something else for you, let us know, and we will be glad to jump on that. At 9 o'clock a.m., we have Pastor A.F. Riggins, Senior Pastor, Founder, Real Life Church, his live sermon going on. At 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday nights, we have Wrap It Up Live once again with Pastor A.F. Riggins, and that's talking about everything from the beginning of the week to the end of the week, and he'd like to start you out on the week with a positive message. We're going to pause right now, and we're going to play some of this special music that has been requested by those that are out there listening. It's called Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
Now we're gonna take you back, y'all. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, George. Do it, George. Do it now. Yeah, you're right. Oh, darling, I'm so lonely without you. And I can't sleep at night, always thinking about you. Oh, darling, please let me come back home. 'Cause your love means so much to me, baby, and I just can't stay away too long. Yeah, toi.
I'm going to curl it round. It's a kind of cute little cat face. And then tiny little whisker spots, just a few.
We are back broadcasting live with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. With tonight, we've been talking about bringing politics from the boardroom to the living room. And I hope that we've been able to reach some type of success with that. Again, before we close out this segment, we want to make sure that everybody is aware that the election is October the 24th. The early voting is October the 10th through the 17th. The qualifying period is September the 10th, 8th through the 10th of this year, 2015. The primary and the general election is November the 21st at 2015, which is a runoff. The primary, once again, is October 24th of 2015. I want to make sure that, again, that everybody remember and realize that all politics is local. And the prediction is that most people who vote or debate issues, once again, are focused on resolving their local issues. We have given you information 2 weeks straight about each individual candidate, who's running for office and what office they're running for. We may sound repetitive, but like the military says, after about 3 times, it starts sinking in and you should have it. So from now until the election, you will, if you're listening to these broadcasts or archives or whatever, you will hear specifically about the candidate's name and the office that they're running for. Again, I want to thank all the listeners out there tonight who have been listening in throughout the state, locally, as well as within the parish locally, outside of the state. Again, we have out there in Texas representing. We have Baton Rouge down there representing. We have South Louisiana, St. Martinville, Malmou, Lafayette, Lake Charles area. We have Grambling, Ruston, Shreveport area. We have the Monroe, Columbia, Rayville, Winsboro area that's listed. We have, I believe that's Alla, maybe Jonesville, Louisiana, that's out there. So people are tuned in. And I always say, be not dismayed. Don't be fooled. Non-traditional media outlets have an opportunity and the option of getting those messages that you have out to the general public, because this information goes out to the media sites the very moment we go live. It goes out immediately. Again, if you want to be sent alerts, you can text 81010 and put in the subject line at WMAD. That would automatically send me a message, and I will be able to input that information in. So when we go live, 30 minutes before or within the day or whatever, you may receive an alert or reminder that, hey, Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass will be on tonight. You can listen and you can choose not to listen, but we prefer that you listen. And again, if there are some topics out there that you want to discuss, you'd like for me to discuss, submit that information to us and we will be glad to do that. We're looking at about 9:15 p.m. Central Standard Time with the Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. Again, we know that the annual Lions Club Rodeo is going on. It'll be going on tonight, tomorrow, and it will conclude on Saturday. So be sure to go out and support the rodeo. Not only go and support the rodeo, go out and support those famous hot dogs that they sell. And I believe they start up about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. I know sometimes they have a tendency to maybe sell out. And the reason why they sell out is because they are just that good. So, again, we want to make sure that we put out valuable information that you, the listener, can take heed to. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to stay aware of what's going on, because we come on at a moment's time and we're always trying to provide information. You've been listening to, once again, Smoking Glass Hour with Baron Glass on WMAD 24-hour Global Radio. It's about 9:16 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to conclude with a little nice, soft, slow song by Mr. Mark Middleton from the band Blackstreet. I Do. Have a great night.
Baby, all I wanna know is how you came to love me so. 'Cause every time I look at you, I can see it in your eyes. What did I do to deserve you? I guess it was meant to be, you and me. Words cannot say what I feel inside when I wake up with you, baby, by my side. Oh, yeah, I do. I love you. Yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. I love you. Please hold out your hand. I'll help you to understand. There's nothing in this world that I really need except your company. Oh yeah, you're the dream come true, and I'll spend my life with you. Where you go, I'll go. Where you are, I won't be far. Baby, when you open
started to believe I'd never find anyone. Doubted, tried to convince me to give in. Said you can't win. But one day the sun came shining through. The rain had stopped and the skies were blue. And oh, what a revelation to see. Someone was saying, I loved you to me. On one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion all to you. A one in a million you. I was a lonely man with empty arms to fill. Then I found a piece of happiness to call my own. And life is worth living again. For to love you to me is to live. Oh, one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion and sent to me a stroke of love called you. A one in a million you. A one in a million chance of a lifetime, and life showed compassion and sent to me a stroke of love called you. One in a million you. A one in a million you.
That's One in a Million Years by Mr. Larry Graham. We have Mr. Howard Gales, who we have interviewed, who played for Larry Graham. Good night, folks.